Tomilayo Olatunde. All of these people are alumni of Enoverlab, and they've been doing really amazing stuff in the product space, right? And, today they are going to be telling us about how they got their first paying job. So if you have questions for them, please do mail to ask your questions, prepare your questions, and ask them. Right, Eniola Saliu as well is supposed to be on this call. I guess she tripped up because of a network or something, but that's fine. Right. Let's have Olanrewaju. Okay, let's have Tomilayo. Like they will say, English people will say ladies first. All right. So let's have Tomilayo introduce herself, and we would roll back to Olanrewaju. Hi, Tomilayo.
Hello, Blessing. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing too?
I'm very well. I'm very well. How's the rain in your side if you're in Nigeria though?
I am in Nigeria and it was critical. The weather is cool, so I'm okay with it.
Right.
All right.
I'm just going to be coming back to you shortly. Right.
All
We
right.
have Eniola here. Eniola is back here as well. And we have Olanrewaju. So let me just have Olanrewaju so that Eniola gets to settle in because she just came back, right? So that she'll be able to settle in. So Olanrewaju, hi, what's up? How are you doing today?
Hi, Blessing. How you doing today?
I'm very well.
Uh, yeah, and yeah, I don't know what to say about myself or how to introduce myself, but yeah, I'm Olanrewaju, as you've said, and it's nice being here and seeing all these faces and hearing all these voices, and I think it's quite intriguing for me. So yeah, thank you.
Right, stay intrigued.
All right.
There's no worry, but then it's great to hear from you. It's really great to hear from you. I don't know the last time we spoke, but yes, it's really awesome to hear from you guys again. Let me hear from Eniola. Hi, Eniola. Eniola.
Hi, Blessing.
Hi. Good evening. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing too?
I'm very well.
Okay, so I think I have to introduce myself, right?
Yes.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Eniola, and it's good to be here. Yeah, back to Amma Mountain, right?
Right.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I hope we all find it insightful and something to implement afterwards. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction. So I'm just going to be going back to Tomilayo, and I would like to ask, what are the, or rather, let me ask this way: how did you get into product management? What are the processes that
Hi, Blessing.
sorry about that. Sorry about that. My network. I don't know. So yeah, um, tell us the journey, how you got to Enoverlab and all of that. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Blessing. Okay. Actually, I am a law student, and it was during the whole coronavirus break, the very long break, that I got to start thinking about how I can make good use of the break and not just like sit at home all through the break. And a lot of people, most especially my siblings, advised me that I should get into tech. So I started like researching a whole lot of tech roles, and I saw product management, and I started research on it. I started watching a lot of videos from product school, I know a lot of people would know that I started reading some of their books too before I, maybe because of the whole Google, Instagram algorithm, because I was researching a lot about product management. I saw um Enoverlab's page on my timeline one day, and the funniest part was admission into the cohort 7 was ending that same day. So I got to know about product about Enoverlab that evening, and I messaged Oga Banji, and he gave me all the details, told me a lot about Enoverlab, and I settled for it. I decided to learn product management from Enoverlab, and I joined the cohort 7 the next day, I suppose. So that was how I got into product management. It was not a very long journey.
Wow, that's really awesome. But like you just saw it and you're like, more. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let me hear from Olanrewaju. Larry, tell us your experience. How did you get
Mm,
to know about Enoverlab? How did you get to know about product management? Yeah.
mm. Okay. All right. So thank you very much. So I think firstly I'm going to do a quick shout out to some of my friends in here. I can see Luatobi, I can see Abel, I can see Chukuma. Bola joined and I think she had to leave. And it's so interesting because I remembered um, I think 2019, 2020, I was I was thinking I'm an architect, by profession, and which now I'm also a product manager. And I was really thinking about then building a product. I'd not known anything called product management. Everything I had an idea about was project management, right? And I think it's one of the first courses you probably do, of one of the first differentiations you would do when you enter into a product school or a product management school. So I remembered I wanted to build a product for myself, which is to actually help my architectural business and all that, and the construction business. So I met a friend, and the friend is on this call, which is Toby, and she said, "Oh, that and she's going to refer me to someone, blah blah blah, this and that." And that was my first encounter with a product manager. So when I saw what happened in that meeting, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. And I tried a lot of things in tech, tried programming. Programming is hard for someone like me, to be honest. Blessing, I know you can understand what I'm trying to say. It is quite
All
very
right.
hard, right? So it is, so I knew I wasn't going through that route. And by the time I had that conversation with that product manager, I knew that was what I wanted to do. So I started researching. So I went to Udemy, and I paid for the advanced product management course, and I did the course, but it was not, and that's the same challenge most of the people also have, when you do those things online, and it was too organic, and the examples were really far off. They were talking about products like Twitter and Lyft. For example, in Nigeria, it is Uber that we all know, but they are talking about Lyft, and some of those type of things were really not. So I knew I needed more. So I think I found Enoverlab on Instagram, and I think just like the first person said, I called Banji, and as God will have it, Banji's background was in urban and regional planning before he also moved into the old tech thing and all that. My background is architecture, so we just gelled. Like from that period, we gelled, and I think the rest is history, because I enrolled for the course, and after the course, yeah, it was just quite very very interesting. The friends I made, the network I had, and even the whole community. It was very, very interesting, because at the end of the day, I now started even building product for people, and it was due to the relationship I had during that course that made me, I was able to like build a team, like in quotes, like let's say like a product team, whereby I could, I had a developer, had a whole lot of people that could work on on a project, and and I think we've been doing it ever since. So yeah, that's my journey, and and I think the journey still moves on. Yeah. So thank you,
Right.
Blessing.
The journey never ends. Continues like that, like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing such an interesting one. Yeah, I'd like to hear from Eniola. Hi, Eniola. Please, let's hear from you. Can Eniola hear me?
Hello, bless. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
I can. Okay,
Okay,
so tell
so
us.
how I got into Enoverlab and then how I got into product management, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, for product management, let me say product management and Enoverlab at the same time. Late December, I think 2021, yeah, I tried to just um, build myself. Yeah, just like a self-development journey kind of. Then I started taking some courses, starting joining some organizations, sessions, just learning more about different things. Then, so I first saw the enthusiasm in like I was glad to learn new things and just see how it goes. They introduced me to Enoverlab first. His younger sister, yes, I think was in the third cohort thereabout, I'm not sure. So she was doing the course in Enoverlab. I'm like, okay, fine. This is also something that is quite interesting. I would like you to try it and see how well you can just move into it. And since you're this kind of person that is, you know, loves learning and is eager to just make a difference. I said, okay, very well, that's cool. And I joined the basic class so I can know what I'm going into. So it was after I know last training, then I decided that, okay, I think film management is for me because I'm more of people relationship, like people management. Yeah, people management, plus management. Yeah, I'm proud to that. I have an event company. So I was already used to, okay, managing people, bringing ideas, solving solution, problem solving, all those things. So like after the develop training, and I thought this was what I wanted to do. Yeah. So that was how I got into product management.
That makes sense. I mean, I think I remember that in your last course where you know they were like, there's an event planner, and I'm event planner in our class and all of that, and like she said, the rest is history. It's great to hear from you, Eniola. And yes, so guys, if you have questions for our speakers, please do well to start dropping them in the chat box or you raise your hand to ask your question. However, I have a question for the three of our panel, speakers. So I'd like to ask, right? I do not know, I am not sure if the road was really rosy for you, right? Um, I do not know if you have challenges, but yes, if you had challenges while transitioning or in the process of your transition, you can just please, we would like to hear from you so that we can also learn from those challenges. So, who would go first? I think Tomilayo should go first again.
All right. So I think it's applicable to everything. If we are starting a new thing, there's going to be some challenges, no matter how little. I could remember when I finished my training at Enoverlab. That time I was so pumped, like, no, I'm a product manager now. We should get into the tech world and rule the world, take over the world, do all of those. So I went on LinkedIn and said, like, anything that has recruitment and product manager in a post like this, I've started sending out my CV. I made a CV. I started writing cover letters and whatever. So I was applying for any job that was looking for any entry level product manager. But the challenge was that After applying for all these jobs, and most of them note they were volunteering job, that is, they're not paid, but I was ready to take up anything as per newbie. So after sending out all these applications, most of them didn't get back. Like, you get some joy if you at least hear back from some people saying whether your application was successful or not. Something should start drop back. Let's know where we are going. But most of them didn't actually like get back to me. And I think that's one of the challenges I faced. I had to like apply for a whole lot of jobs without nothing at first, until I started like connecting to people and networking on social media apps. So I think the first issue I had was having a successful job application at first. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I would have loved to ask how you were able to pull through with that, but I think I'll come back to ask. Right. Um, let's hear from Olanrewaju before we go back to Eniola. Olanrewaju, please.
Okay, thank you, Blessing. So, for me, and I think it's really about the challenge optimistic people have, and which is that they have high hopes, right? So for me, what really happened was um, I had a bit of challenge during my capstone project because remember when I was talking previously, I was saying that there was a product I was trying to build even before I came into product management entirely. And what really happened for me was, so I said, oh, let me use that product for my capstone project, when we're done with the training at Enoverlab. And to my greatest surprise, with the knowledge I now had then, I knew that there were a lot of errors. So I was a bit down, to be honest. There were a lot of errors with the product itself, and navigating through all that. But really looking at it, I had so many high hopes. I think I was my application that I was probably trying to apply for, I wasn't applying for any Nigerian company. I was applying for UK, I was applying for Canada, I was applying for the US. And just the way it would always happen, they'll tell you sorry, and they cannot move forward with the application. Some would not even get back to you. And I think it's important, or the way I was able to navigate through that was that I remembered starting a project for a friend of mine, and that was actually done with no intention of getting any pay. Fortunately for me, I had, I was still practicing as an architect, or I'm still practicing as an architect. So the burden of trying to get maybe ends meet was not really on me. Trying to get a job as a product manager, right? So I had that space, and I think it's just something that it's quite important in transitioning, so that weight, I think that was what I've been able to learn, because that weight was not on me to, I need to get a paying product management job. So I had that capacity to withstand that period. And I think, as God will have it, just in a very short period of time, I was also able to get a paid job. And it's actually not a Nigerian company, so my high hopes didn't probably fall to the ground. It was with a UK company, and so that's how I was just able to get ahead with those downtimes. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Olanrewaju. Thank you for sharing that one. Let's have Eniola.
Okay, from my side, well, I won't say it was job per se. When I finished from Enoverlab, I thought I wasn't ready. That was my major issue. I thought I wasn't ready because I wanted to learn more and know if this is really what I wanted to do. So, okay, what I did was try to check out for what um, recruiters were looking for from a product manager, like in their responsibilities and roles. Thereabout, I just checked through. Once I checked, I said, "Oh no, no, this is not what I don't have this yet." So I'll just look back. I think I need to go and learn this. After taking a number of, you know, job opportunities, I reached out to Banji, boss, what's going on? I think I'm not ready. He will encourage me, but then, no, I wasn't ready. I don't think I was ready. So I had to just look back and then try to gather more knowledge here and there. But then I found out that at a point, I had more than enough. Like, I had the opportunity of being in several groups and joining a number of programs. And when we are asked to speak or do a particular thing, I feel like that no, I think I have one understanding than what I actually thought I do, the level I am. So then I said, okay, I think it's time to tap into myself out. So yeah, so that was my major issue, not thinking I was ready, and then I just found out that I wasn't good and ready, and then I stressed myself out until the job
Makes
came.
sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Feels like Eniola, more like, should I call it imposter syndrome at a point?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I know that imposter syndrome thing can be shitty, can be annoying, and yeah, you know, not being enough most times, and it's just always important to know when to always snap out of it because you know that okay, now I'm equipped, and I think that's one really amazing thing that Eniola did. That's one really amazing thing she did. She knew she was ready, and yeah, thank you so much for sharing that one. Guys, if you have questions, please do well to raise your hands or ask, or send your question in the chat box so that we can ask our speakers. Right. My next question would be um like how do I put it now? How did you prepare for the products? Yeah, of course, we've talked about how you got to know about Enoverlab, the challenges and all of that. So how did you prepare for the interview? Fine, there's a case of I think two people mentioned that it was just Olanrewaju that mentioned that there was a case of him um was he? No, it was Tomilayo, right? Tomilayo and Olanrewaju said that that there was a case of them applying and not getting response, right? So yeah, I'd like to ask when you finally got a response, how did you feel, and how did you prepare for the products for the interview process as a whole, and what were the processes like? So who would go first? Who would go first? Who would go? Let's have Tomilayo.
Okay. How did I prepare for the interview? Okay, my
Yeah.
first job actually, I got it through networking. When I like went on LinkedIn and Instagram to like connect with product manager that are already like how like they have gotten somewhere, they are building products and all of that. So I connected with someone who and after connecting with the person on LinkedIn, I messaged him that I'm just starting out as a product manager and I'll be open, like I'm open to any role, any entry level role um in product management. So after some time he messaged me back to tell me that they are building a product, and he kind of asked that am I interested in the in joining the team, and I answered positively, and he scheduled an interview with other product managers in the team. So what I did then, because I can still remember that I was still a student at Enoverlab, Like I have not completed my training there. I think I was still left with the capstone project. So what I did basically, the ignorant me, was to go on YouTube and like search for all the interviews that product school has uploaded on their uh, page. I watched all the interview, what the kind of questions they asked, and all of that. And then I also went back to the books that Ogabanji sent when we started our training to like look for the um pointers, like the major things that a manager should have, the basic knowledge that a product manager should have. And I also Google searched some things. But after the first job, the next one I got was more um interconnected with law. Like after that internship, I started looking for opportunities that merges both law and tech, especially like from the aspect of product management. So preparing for that interview, the second interview was a little easy because I don't have to like prepare from a product manager perspective. I prepared for both somebody that is knowledgeable in law and product management. So it was a little more stress free. But the first one, I had to like do all of the researching, asking questions on Google, and watching videos on YouTube, um, talking to some other people that are already like in product management and all of that. So that's basically what I did.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much, Tomilayo. And I think one really amazing thing that you did was, you took up internship to be able to test the waters. And I mean, you're even a lawyer, and you just found your industry and all of that. And I think that makes sense, especially for somebody that is looking to break into tech. I just want to chip this in. If you're looking to break into tech, always look within the industry that you are very knowledgeable about. It's always very, very easy. Like Tomilayo said, it was easier for her to get into that space because she's getting there with the knowledge she had in law and the knowledge she had in product management. So it's more like she's getting there super packed. Like, I'm unstoppable. I'm a push. Please let me not start. But yes, that makes sense. Thank you very much, Tomilayo. Let's have Olanrewaju.
Okay, thank you, Blessing, thank you, Tommy. So I think for me, I was able to I think do two things. And firstly, it was to really start asking people about them building a product, so with the knowledge I have that, product can be so many things. So I started really inquiring about, some of my friends, some of my previous bosses, and some of my, just within my network. And I was really trying to expand that network. I remember then I also had a friend that works in Patricia, and I sent my CV and all of that. And for me getting the job that that I still currently work in, I was it was also through networking, right? So the founder of the company has um, a another company in the architectural field, and that is why I totally agree with what Tomilayo said, because what really happened to me, and I think it's we few people that I've met, few new people transitioning into product management, most of them also try to develop from where they currently are, and just move it becomes very smooth into tech. So I remember that I was telling my boss now, that, oh, I'm now a product manager, this and this, and he was like, oh, okay. I even told him that, oh, that I can even operate as a product owner, and and I from the inception, from idealization to launching the product and even managing the product. that have, some ideas, although I'm just starting out and all that. And he said, oh, okay, let's try this out, because he was also building another product. He was building a product and he has a company with some friends, and they brought me in. And that was that was really my first main job as a product manager. And so it was necessarily not a formal interview, right? It was just like, because he was almost like a friend. So it was almost like you telling your friend, oh, I'm a product manager now, or telling everybody that I'm a product manager, this product man. And sometimes when I probably converse with people, and that was what really also helped me. Me being an entrepreneur, I really, even with my product management career, I really don't want to settle for just working as a product manager. I want to have a product management company. I'm an entrepreneur, and I think that's how it works in my head, which we started working on. And I remembered, if anybody tells me, oh, I'm building a website or I'm building a mobile application, immediately I start a conversation with them. Oh, do you have a product manager? They say, oh, what do you mean by product management? So I start to I have that conversation, and we, start saying, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And I remember that one or two products, there's even one we're actually working on now, which is like a personal project, and bring in so many people and say, okay, let us do this, let us do this, let us do this. So it's for anybody, just maybe you're just finished, you're just concluding on your product management training and whatsoever, things like that, or you're transitioning, as a whole. I think it's important to really check within your network, as much as we want to scale out. I remember Olabanji sent a link to the community about the APM list for Microsoft and all of those things. And man, when you check, as a product manager that is just starting into launching into product management, when you check the requirements, OMG, it's a lot. Most of them are technical product managers, and for few of us that don't even know anything about coding or programming, it was a lot. So although when I was probably conversing with my boss, which is my boss now, and which was my previous boss, I was able to probably now give him instances. So those applications and those job roles actually helped me, or yeah, job descriptions actually helped me streamline my process, while starting out with him. And thanks to the community as well, because someone like Olabanji was very helpful. There are some times that, and with I'm sure so many people have experience with founding products, products that are not live yet, and you're just starting the products from scratch. There's a lot of, because at that time, even the founder or the CEO or whoever you are reporting to does not have a glimpse of your deliverables. So you're almost the one giving them the deliverables and saying, this is what I'm going to do now. This is what I'm meant to do now. And it was really helpful that there was someone like Olabanji and some few, I remembered our tutor there, Oluwaseun. They were really helpful in trying to streamline that process, so that you're not just here and there, in streamlining the process and the sequence of how things should go. So I think that is it for me. So it was not necessarily a like an official interview per se, but I did some level of background checks and background research on the kind of products the company was trying to build. And that was how I was able to actually convince him, because my boss then knew me as an architect, and he was just wondering, well, why are you telling me that you're a product manager now? Why should I believe you? Why should I tell you to come on board and all that? And those whys were answered, and I think it was done in an informal way. So yeah, that was
Awesome.
it.
Those whys were answered. That is when you know your onions. You don't need to talk so much. Hello. All right. Thank you very much, Olanrewaju, for that one. Let's hear from Eniola. And however, Eniola has a question in the chat box. But after Eniola answers that, she'll just take the question in the chat box.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, for me, I applied for two jobs, and before I got this one, I don't know if you want me to touch on the process of
Yes,
getting,
yes,
like how
yes,
I prepared for all of the
yes,
interviews.
yes. You can just touch on the process, how, you
Okay,
know.
all right. The first one I got was via LinkedIn. Yeah, the person reached out. I didn't really have much on my profile there, but I remember it was not. It was just like the same week, Enoverlab featured me on their page. That was the same week the recruiter reached out. So the company based in I think Germany thereabouts. Yeah. So he sent me the link and then wanted me to apply. It was the lead product manager, yeah, or lead project manager. I can't remember now. So I did research about the organization, see what they were doing. So that I was into some civil rights kind of stuff. Yeah, I had something like that I did sometimes 2021. So I learned about the organization, see what how I can impact when I get to the organization, prepared myself, how I'm going to introduce myself, and yeah, check out for what they've done, look out for their products, see what people say about them, their Twitter, Instagram, and every other thing. So during the press of the interview, the first was so smooth. You know, one thing interviewers also like is your confidence and they want to know that okay, you have what it takes to come on board and you majorly people like if you ask a mother now or maybe when you see a mother and you appreciate the daughter or the son, or you buy something for the kids, they'll be so happy, like, oh, you remember my kids or something. Even before you say, how are you doing or something, they feel some kind of gratitude. So that's how it is for managers or company or CEOs. Like, okay, you know about what I'm doing. It excites them. So that's one step I want them to consider when trying to prepare for interviews. For my second job, it was same thing. So, but it was more technical. Yeah, I don't want to something to like a technical PM, but then I did the little research I could about technical PM, but then I couldn't just fit it. Yeah, it's because the role was quite shallow. So if you're applying for a role that you're not so much what's this English, so much rooted in, and you desire to really grow in it, you can do much more research so that you can fit it in the role when they ask you interview questions and be ready. Then I didn't really know what it was to have a speed test, to know what was the required thing outside there. I just used the system that was just a system. I didn't know what, having a 8 gram was like having an SSD system and the rest of them were using an HDD and then about 2 gram and so the thing was so slow and then that just cut me off of the whole process. Yeah. So for my last one, like this job I'm doing currently, it's also via LinkedIn. Yeah. I joined the challenge and it was just to put myself out and what I've been doing so far, different things I've been into. So I put myself out on LinkedIn. And the person just reached out and like, okay, I have a friend that is looking for someone like you. And the person knows someone close to me already. So because the person knows someone close to me, I was like, okay, I think I can rely and trust you. So then she just introduced me to the organization. But then I had to go for interview also and get to know about what the organization needs, their responsibilities and their role for that particular role. Saw what I can do, how I fit in, check my previous experience, and then push that forward during the interview. So that was yeah, that's just my process or the processes.
Okay, thank you very much, Eniola, for that one. That was like a rundown. Thank you so much for sharing. There's a question for you, Eniola, in the chat box from Akase Kano. She said, "How did you know you were ready to apply for those PM roles? Did you take another training after finishing from Enoverlab?" The question is for Eniola.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I want to get it in, sorry. I think I'll go for time because I'll remember that the second one. Okay, yeah, what I did was okay, the thing is, after checking about some job opportunities, I said that I need to have some data analytics background. I need to have some, at least some idea of product design and the rest of them. With what I was taught in Enoverlab or after the training, there is like 2 to 3 times or 2 to 3 days you'll be drilled to prepare for yourself for interview thereabout. So during the course of during this period, boss will say, okay, I think you guys need to just look out for opportunities, look at the requirements, go online, search for opportunities, just put it there. You'll see a lot of things. So I did a lot of checking, a lot of researching. Just go to Instagram or Twitter, type in anything related to tech or product management. And I began to see a lot of opportunities in data science, in data analytics, see a lot of like learning opportunities. So I took trainings in data analysis, took trainings in product design also. So even after that, I joined another program for flow management. But then, even the program I joined was not, they are not so detailed. Like, so until I was now in a group of upcoming, or let me say, baby program managers. So I'm okay. I think I'm going to be I'm going to people. I'm very baby. I'm already an adult. So that's from the ideas they're sharing, from the projects they're giving us, I find that no, this people are quite behind. And I think I need to get started already looking for jobs. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Eniola. And I believe that you have answered a question very, very well. However, I have two questions, but time. Let me just see how we're going to run over these questions. Um, okay. So the next question I'll be asking is what did you do to stand out? Of course, okay, maybe this is not even applicable, but yes, it might be applicable. What did you do to stand out, right, from other candidates during the hiring process? Like, how did you demonstrate your own ability to be able to lead the product team during that interview process? What did you do differently, right? And how did you stand out from the other people, right, to be the preferred one to have the job that you're currently doing? All right, so let me hear from Tomilayo. Let Eniola catch up right for a moment.
Oh, all right. So, as far as leading a team goes, I actually do know. I was not. It was not like a product manager would lead the whole team. We have a team of more than 6 product manager with my first job. Like, we were a lot. But what they did was that we kind of have different sections or different sub team that we had. It depends on the particular task that each person is given. So for me, I basically handled everything that has to do with um um the legal aspects of the product. That is going overboard, ensuring that is our products complying with some regulations, legislations, and all of that. I also like managed some areas of development, especially with some of the functions of the product. But what I majorly did for my first job was that I make sure that I deliver on time. That is, if I'm given a task, I like try to immediately update my calendar to make sure that I beat the deadline. I submit like a day or two before the deadline. So I try to communicate to the head of the whole product manager and the CEO, because we have a stand up every Friday. So I try to like communicate to them that I am not only a product manager, but I am efficient and I am hardworking. So the delivering and than faster than any other person made me stand out. And also the second one is that with the sub teams that I headed, I was a little always on that, I be on the neck of the other part of the teams. And now I'm talking about the developers and the designers. So I was like always on their neck. If we are going to, like, if I am done with my own assignments, I want them to also like be done with whatever they have to do. If I'm done with whatever the legal part, that I am just like the only one in charge of it, I want the team also to do um to be done early with the task that we have. So the developer, I'm always like on their neck that you people, whoever understands Yoruba. So I also like try as much as possible to push them beyond their capacity in a way, to like go all the way to ensure that we deliver faster. And then the other thing I did was also communicating. Like communication was like key for me. Like if anything is going to go wrong, I don't want to be the only one that will know about it. Every other person, even it's not like making myself be as if I don't know anything or I was a novice, but I don't want a situation whereby I would be hoarding information or keeping stores from the other members of the team. If anything is going smoothly, I tell them. If it's not, I tell them. So like ensuring that there is like a smooth communication between myself and the other members of the team was also one thing that um stood me out, because I remember there was a stand-up that we had, and one of the things that the CEO was complaining about that time was the fact that some other persons were very bad at communicating, that some things happened and they did not know about it until like it was already too late. So it was also like a major thing for them, and I deciphered that earlier and made sure that I was out there with my with whatever I'm doing, sha. And then the next thing is like, I don't know if it relates to what I stated earlier, but giving my best to everything. There's I don't think with humans, I think I don't think there's actually a limit to what we can do if we actually like push ourselves. So making sure that whatever you are delivering is the best, I think that actually like go a long way. You don't have to like settle for less. Push yourself to give the best that you can ever give in all things, even if the job is unpaid, even if you are going to stress yourself more than the benefits you are getting from it. Make sure that you give your best to everything. I could remember very well when I was still there and I was given a task to see whether the whole product complies with GDPR. The specific instruction was to check whether it complies with GDPR. And like I was already like thinking far beyond the point that what if this product goes beyond the shores of Europe? Will it comply with other data protection laws in other jurisdictions too? So that's kind of impressed um my head, like the head of the product managers team. So giving your best to everything also matters. It goes a long way. I think I'll stop at that. I'm already taking too much time. So
All right. Thank you so much, Tomilayo. That makes sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's go to Olanrewaju. Olanrewaju, same applies to you. What did you do to stand out from other candidates? Right? How did you
Um,
demonstrate your ability to be able to lead a product team? You know, yeah, during and even
okay.
after the interview process.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Blessing. So I think my approach is quite different from Tomilayo because so I naturally tag myself as a lazy person. So because of that, and over time, I'd probably try, which I'm still trying, try to learn how to manage people. So I think for me, one of the major thing that really stood out for me was people management and relationship management. Because most times I figure out that I don't, probably maybe due to the field I came from, which is architecture, whereby in order for you to deliver what you need to do, you need so many stakeholders, for that to happen. You need so many people for that to happen. And really managing them well is what will bring out your own work, right? So I think for me, I was able to manage people. So, the dev guys, the the designers, even the stakeholders themselves. I remembered one even happened recently whereby there was a launch we were meant to do, and over the night, I promised the founder that we're going to launch in the morning because there was probably a presentation that was meant to happen. And I remember that over the night, I could not sleep. Developers contact was not going through. The other product manager working on the job, she was not, reachable and all of that. And I did all I could for that thing to happen. Unfortunately, it did not. But I guess due to that how will I say, that effort, the whole team probably saw the effort, and in the morning everybody was on that job till till late in the evening, right? And at the end of the day, the thing came up. So what am I trying to say? I think one of the major things that's important to probably inculcate in this field is actually people management, emotional intelligence, and how to be very inquisitive. And just to say, there is, in this field as a whole, you can't know it all, and you can actually learn from anybody. I i i learn from anybody, right? Anyone that has the knowledge, I probably learn from the person, and which is still what I'm still trying to do. So I think for me, that's just it. And it has been working for me up to this stage, or up to this level of mine in this career field. So yeah, thank you, Blessing.
All right, that makes sense. Thank you very much for sharing, Olanrewaju. And yeah, let's have you.
Okay, for me, I would say it's previous experience that actually stood me out and my readiness. Yeah. In my organization now, I manage, mostly I'm into the business development and the uh, people management aspects. Yeah. So because of my previous experience, that's why I would just urge if you, I think Tomilayo mentioned something about even if it's an internship, not paid, just try and volunteer and be a part of it because all those things they try to build us and then, couple together. When you try to put them together, you'll be wondering like, okay, or you just see yourself being able to do so many things that everyone is finding difficulty doing. So that actually puts me out like, okay, I have experience with this, I can do this, I can do that. And it's just amazing that it's just beyond the job. I can do more things. Prior to events, I worked in the banking industry and I've been a volunteer in different organizations from uh, NGO, civil rights to I think here in food bank, thereabouts a number of them. So all those things, working with people, communication, just took me out. So I was able to manage the team much better and able to do whatever they had to do effectively. And the business saw a new development and like, fine, we are keeping this lady. Within the first week I got to the organization, I was the only one left on duty for the weekend. Like I just had to work 2 days, no supervision, just me. The second, I mean, once we resumed on the next week, that was Monday, just to get my letter ready. I was supposed to stay for about 2 weeks before they confirmed it, but then I just got my confirmation the week after. And that was just the end of it.
Wow, that makes sense. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing. I mean, it's been an insightful 1 hour of discussion, and to be honest, I am super super happy. I'm super proud of you guys. I mean, you guys rock. Like you guys rock. And yes, this is cheering you on, right? Cheering you on to the amazing amazing things that you're going to do in the product space. Guys, if you have questions, please go ahead to raise your hand before we um before we ask the last question. I have like one more question round to go, right? So that we can get so that we can just go do other things. Christy, you raised your hand. Was it a mistake? Okay, I guess that was a mistake. So the question I would want to ask is um what what advice would you give to a new product manager or an aspiring product manager? What advice would you guys give to them to um to guide them, and yes, just that one advice you would give to them to guide them uh on the right path. So let's have Tomilayo first, then we have Eniola next, then Olanrewaju will just wrap it up for us. Tomilayo.
Oh, all right. Thank you for that question. Okay, for one advice that I would give a budding product manager, I would say that network as much as possible. I don't know, we underestimate this thing. We actually really, really underestimate it. But network as much as possible on social media or events everywhere. Just network. The power of network is actually like very, very much. And I think if we take it more seriously, it could get us into some very big rooms. I've seen it's working for me, so and I know it can work for any other person. So network as much as possible, and that's like one advice I would like to give to people.
Okay, thank you very much, Tomilayo. That was a very short one and straight to the point. Right, let's have Eniola next.
Okay, we say don't hold yourself back. There are 1 million, no, actually 8 billion people out there that are looking for you to solve their problems. You have a solution. So don't hold yourself back. Yeah, put yourself out as much as you can. And there's so much within you that you don't know. Yeah, there's so much within each and every one of us that we don't know we are capable of able to do. So don't hold yourself back. And to add to what Tomilayo said, don't neglect your community because they strengthen you daily help. It's not easy, you know. I started my journey in March last year, and a lot of me to January this year that get a paid job. Oh no, not January. It's supposed to be January, yeah. Then I resumed in February. Okay, so I think that's it. Don't hold yourself back. The world is waiting for you, and be a part of the community.
Thank you very much, Eniola. That makes sense. Do not hold yourself back. Be a part of a community. Identify with a community is important. And yes, the world is waiting for you. That's what she said. And yes, Tomilayo also said you should network as much as possible, as much as you can. Let's hear from Olanrewaju before we get the session ended. Hi, Olanrewaju.
Wow. All right, blessing. So I would say network, 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 and also speak out. So sometimes they said a problem shared is half solved. So I believe in talking to people, and I think it has really been it has been talking to the right people, right? So um whatsoever thing you know, starting from your if you are transitioning, for example, starting from your first class, you have some network of friends, start gisting them about what you're learning, start talking about it. Just start talking about it. And before you know it, you know somebody would know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. But if you keep your mouth shut, I think a closed mouth is a closed destiny. So please, and also lastly, I would say don't underestimate the power of free jobs. And I think that has been abused a lot, but it's just the way the honor system works, and anything you honor, you give value to. So please don't underestimate the power of free jobs. As much as you want to, make millions of dollars and all of that, in this early phase, there might be a lot of free or low pay jobs that you might probably want to engage in. uh Treat it as if they are paying you $1 million for it. Treat it well. When you treat it well, he that that has that little is given to you, and you're able to probably work well with it. When you have a larger amount of opportunity, you also be able to do that. So I think that's for me, and thank you so much, Enoverlab. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I look forward to more opportunities like this.
Thank you so much. And I think Olanrewaju has broken everything down. He said something that I can also attest to. Do not underestimate the power of doing the littlest things. The littlest things. Those are the things that will pave the bigger ways, the bigger bags for you. And to be honest, I am a testimony of that. So, guys, thank you very much for joining today's session. And trust me, it has been an insightful 1 hour. And to me, I feel like oh, let's not just end. Let's just keep gisting, let's keep talking. But yo, we cannot keep doing that because we have other things that we might need to attend to. Right. And yes, it's been really awesome hearing from these amazing people. That's Tomilayo, Olanrewaju, and Eniola. Thank you guys